It's Alan here on the farm on Route 66, and I'm going to address something that really makes me upset. I'm trying to set up a place to sit here while I talk to you. Look, all the goats are coming to visit this morning. Let me turn this around and introduce you to them again. So this is Olaf with no ears. She's a La Mancha, and their breed doesn't have ears. And her two babies, Jack and Jill, right there, the two little black ones, and they're purebred La Manchas. And then we have Nanny Claire, and she's a Nubian, but she was bred La Mancha. So they have what they call elf ears. See how they have little teeny ears? So anyway, I'm going to talk to you guys about something that really ticks me off. Good morning, Ty. So let me give it a minute for more to jump on. It's just a beautiful morning here on the farm, and I came out. We were gone for the weekend. We went and spent some time as a family down in Chandler, Arizona at an Airbnb, and it was super fun to be together, all of us. And now we're home, and my cousin Sasha took care of the place so well. Everything was perfect when we got home, and sure love and appreciate him. Are we gonna breed the goats this year, Ty? Yes, I think so. I mean, we do every year. That's how you keep the goats fresh in milk, and we have the goats for security in case we ever need the milk. But we get so busy, we normally let the babies just nurse them. Good morning, Rebecca. So anyway, everything looks beautiful, but I'm going to address something that really makes me upset. And if you read the title of my live today, it's romance scammers. Yes, you read it right. It makes me so upset. So Jeanette, thank you for jumping on. She says, beautiful day here in East Texas, and our pastures are looking great. They really are. We're so blessed how everything's looking. But I hope more people jump on, because people need to hear this one. Because romance scammers are everywhere, I think you need to understand and know what I'm talking about if you don't already. If you know what a romance scammer is, I want you to comment in the comments so that I kind of know if you already know what I'm talking about. But anyway, while I'm waiting for a few more people to hop on, I may just walk around the field here and show you the animals. They look beautiful. They've eaten our pasture down big time. We've had the two cows, let's see, the 6 goats, and 2 horses on here for about a week. And they've sure eaten it down. But it's such a blessing to have all this pasture, and we will end up what was I going to tell you? Oh, I got distracted. We will end up getting them off here for good morning, Vernon. Old and clueless, Rebecca. Rebecca, that was her comment. Old and clueless. Well, that's why I want to educate people about this today. But Vernon, good morning. The cows look great. The pasture's getting eaten down, but I'm going to take them off here in the next day or two, and we'll irrigate. So, well, actually, I irrigate in a week. So if I can get them off before I irrigate, we'll leave them off for a week or two, and then we'll put them back on. But let's go look at Blue Mickey. But guys, I need to talk to you about this romance scammer thing. Let's see here. My picture and sound won't load, poor internet, but I can chat. Well, I'm glad you're chatting with us, Jody, but I hope everyone can hear this. Those of you that are on, would you let me know if your sound is good? I hope it's not something from my end. There you go. So here's Mickey. Blue Mickey is looking awesome. This green grass is treating her good. And yesterday I was messing with her. She's getting so gentle and nice. She's just amazing. Blue Mickey here. Just love her. But thank you, Ty. Ty says that the sound sounds good there. Okay, Nikki, you said you've never heard of the romance scammers. I am so glad that I'm addressing this. I am getting really upset at what's going on. And it's not just on my channel. I'm sure it happens on every channel. But because ours is a family channel that attracts really amazing, wonderful people, our channel and many others like ours are targets for these romance scammers. And it's what they do is they'll come on and they'll do something like this. And now you can comment if this has happened to you. All of a sudden they will say, they'll comment on your comment. This is what happens most of the time. I'm just gonna show you. Duchess was like trying to scratch her back leg and it looked kind of funny. Doesn't she look beautiful this morning? Anyway, so the way these romance scammers work is, okay, Crispin Anderson says she knows what I'm talking about. It's happened to her. So it's what happens is all of a sudden you'll make a comment on my video, on someone else's video, and all of a sudden a comment comes in and it says something like this. It says, oh, you have a beautiful smile. I would sure love to be your friend. I've sent you a friend request, but it didn't come through. Can you send me a friend request? Or they say something like, oh, I love your intelligent comments. You just sound like such a wonderful person. And anyway, thank you, Jeanette. Jeanette's like my title was, she knows what I'm talking about because of what I've said here. But anyway, it's what happens, and almost always that I've seen, but I'll tell you about some exceptions here recently. Almost always, it's some good-looking guy, a picture of a good-looking guy, probably in his 50s or 60s, and they send it out, especially to women that are single or between 50 to 80 years old. They send out these messages and they tell you how wonderful you are, how smart you are, how beautiful you are, how they would love to become your friend on Facebook. And that sounds so innocent, and it also sounds flattering. I mean, who wouldn't want to be told that you have a beautiful smile, or you have a beautiful profile? Man, I wish we could be friends. Why don't you send me a friend request? Well, it's what they do is they try to hook you. They've put their line in the water and they're trying to hook you. They're trying to get you to become their friend on Facebook or YouTube or wherever. They're trying to get you. Now, I guess on YouTube there's not a chat as much, but they try to get you to connect with them. Well, pretty soon, oh, and almost always, I've noticed this. These profiles, they're good-looking guys, normally in their 50s or 60s, and almost always they say, hey, let's see, Genevieve just says, Alan, I'm always careful of scammers. They always get to me when I leave a comment. Yeah. So, and Brenda said, well, block them. Yes, I do. If I see them on our channel, I block them. But I can't be watching our comments all the time. And so this 50 to 60-year-old, at least how they look, 50 to 60-year-old guy, good looking, single or divorced, almost always that's what it'll say in their profile. Oftentimes they say they were in the military or they're in the military. And I've learned why they say that. As I progress here, I'll tell you about it. Anyway, they leave these comments all the time. It happens almost daily on our channel, and I'm sure on many channels. And like I say, I think channels like ours are targets because they are targeting wonderful, amazing, compassionate, charitable people who have kind hearts. And honestly, let's see, yeah, there are stuff going on. Craig says there's stuff going on. It's a crazy world. Yep. So they target channels like ours. Most of our people, if you look at our demographics of people that watch our channel, are 55 and older. And many of them are just amazing women, kind, loving women that are either divorced or widowed or married, and they try to become friends with you. Well, the problem is they may not be who that profile says. Most likely they're not. That's just a picture and a profile that they're trying to get you to think is a real person. And I have a friend, and she's actually written a book now, and I can't wait when it's published. I'll tell you about it. But we have a friend that got into this. She started communicating, not from our channel, luckily. She somehow was approached on Facebook or YouTube or wherever. Someone sent her a little link, a comment, and says, hey, we should become friends. And she thought, man, this good looking guy wants to be my friend on Facebook. Well, they start communicating, and it started happening daily for hours every day. Well, my friend, pretty soon, she was cautious at first, but pretty soon she was in a relationship, and people were on Facebook or whatever, and she was so excited to tell us, hey, I've got a boyfriend, I've got someone that I'm dating, and he's just awesome. And really, that's awesome. Where is he? Well, he's in the military, and so I'm not going to be able to meet him until, you know, here in 2 or 3 months we're gonna get together. And we all were happy for her, but I don't know, it just sounds a little weird. But there was, you know, we trusted her and we're happy for her. Well, the months went by, and every time they were supposed to meet, oh man, I just got an assignment. They've sent me somewhere else. I've been restationed. I am so sad. I wanted to meet up with you. Anyway, and so he just led her on. Well, after her heart was totally in it, I mean, he started telling her he loved her, and she was so flattered because this good-looking guy, at least from his profile picture, was just in love with her, according to him. You know, that's what he kept saying, and so she was in love with him. And she even talked religion, and it's like, well, I don't know, it would be important that someone had my same religion, or at least was supportive of me practicing my religion. And anyway, the guy was smooth. He was like, what's your religion? I would love to learn about your religion. Oh, you want me to be a member of your religion? I would be happy to listen to missionaries or be baptized. I mean, he just told her anything she wanted to hear. But every time they were going to meet up, there was some excuse. Well, and then the excuses turned to this, and this is what always will happen. All of a sudden, he's like, oh my gosh, I was just getting in this airplane, or I was going to this airport because we were going to meet up this weekend, and I've lost my credit card, or I lost my passport. And they're saying that the only way I can get a new one is for someone to wire me money to this address, or can you put it at, what do you call it, Walmart cash, or I don't even understand all that stuff. Anyway, so then they always get to that point, they'll start asking for a little bit of money. And at first it's not a whole lot, you know. It's like, hey, I'm just in this bind, could you send me this much money when I see you? I'll get you paid back, no problem. Or as soon as I get my credit card in the mail, I'll send it to you. Anyway, you can see where this starts going. And my friend, luckily, she never sent money, because she's like, okay, that just doesn't sound right. Maybe I shouldn't do it. But she truly was in love. She had fallen in love with the idea of this guy and his profile picture and everything he told her, and he'd tell her how beautiful she was and how amazing she was. And I mean, she loved to hear it, and she had fallen in love with the idea of being with this guy forever. Well, one day she came to the house for something, and Vicky said, "Hey, how's your boyfriend? How's this? Weren't you gonna meet him this weekend or whatever?" And she said, "Well, yeah, but he got stuck in customs and this happened, and he says that he's inherited some what do you call it, rare gems from the family, but he has to go to this one place and pick them up, and he's having trouble getting there because his passport." I mean, this is crazy story. And Vicky started laughing at her, and I actually walked in on the conversation as Vicky's just hysterically laughing, like, you know this is a scam, right? And poor Nella, I think she'd be okay with me saying her first name, I won't say her last name. She was like, no, I think he's real. And then as Vicky's laughing, she's like, okay, you're probably right. But in her heart of hearts, she did not want to give up this idea that this guy was real. I mean, in her mind, they were in love, they were going to get married and live happily ever after. Well, as I walked in on this conversation, I said, "Vicky, be nice. She is in love, and I've seen it. I have a leadership role in our church, and I've seen other women fall for this. There's a lady in our congregation that I have tried and tried and tried to convince that who she's talking to is a scam, and she won't believe me. And she has given thousands of dollars to this person. And the story's always the same. There's always some excuse before they meet up in person. And I cannot convince her because she is so in love with the idea, and she does not want to give up this conversation she has and someone that's telling her how beautiful she is and how wonderful she is. Anyway, so I told our friend Nella and Vicky, I said, "Vicky, let's be nice. Nella is in love here, but Nella, this really does sound fishy. You've got to figure this out." Well, she's a very intelligent woman, and as in love with the idea as she was, she knew that, okay, I probably do need to do something about this. So she got with a friend of ours that's into computers. He did a search of where the email address was coming from, and supposedly he was, at customs in Italy or something. Well, the email address came back from Nigeria, and it broke her heart, but it also was a wake-up call. And we're like, "Nella, don't feel bad. I mean, anyone could have fallen for this." And she decided to write a book about romance scammers, and it will be coming out whenever the publishers go through all their edits and stuff. And so actually I will, if you'll Facebook message me, or I don't know how to, yeah, now I sound like a scammer. Anyway, if you can email us at the Farm on Route 66. I don't even want a bunch of emails right now because the book could be years out. But if you're interested in a year or two, or if I think, that's what I'll do. When the book comes out, I'll mention it again. But I just worry because there's some of you amazing people out there that have people that are trying to scam you. And recently, I just saw a profile that was different. This time, it was a young lady's profile picture of a pretty attractive young lady, and kind of the same thing though. To some guy on my channel, it was like, and here's the other thing. I don't understand technology that much. Someone called it a bot or something. I'll see someone made a comment to 6 people on my channel at the same time, and it's the same message. So obviously they're not just attracted to this one person's smile, they're just throwing out tons of possibilities and hoping that one of them will start communicating with them. And it could be a team of people sitting somewhere in Nigeria or somewhere in a garage in Arizona. I mean, you don't know where these people are from, but I just wanted to warn you guys. You've got to be cautious. Some of you are so kind and naive and compassionate, and so I just don't want you, when you have these comments come in, to fall for it. Okay, yeah. Michelle De Silva, hello from South Africa. Are you really from South Africa, or are you just teasing with me because of what I'm talking about right now? Because I just said Nigeria. But anyway, if you're just getting in on our conversation, you may not know what I'm talking about. But anyway, I hope this is helpful to somebody. I hope somebody watches this and is spared the heartache, because who wouldn't want to be told how beautiful and wonderful and great you are? And you are beautiful, you are wonderful, you are great. But if someone's just trying to connect with you so that they can later ask you for money, that is not someone that you ought to be associated with. And again, it's probably not even a somebody. It could be a team of somebodies. It could be a girl who's posing as a guy trying to get you. And I've often wondered if that's the case, because they know exactly what to say. And so you wonder if there's a girl there that says, hey, she would love to hear this, or she would love to hear that, because man, they're smooth, they're good. So anyway, kind of a weird thing to go on a rant about this morning, but I have felt like for a long time I need to warn those of you that watch YouTube channels or watch Facebook, you know, whatever your social media platform is that you go to. Be super cautious. Don't give in. As flattering as it sounds, don't befriend them. Once they get on your social media platform, sometimes they can hack. I'm sure many of you have been hacked, I'm sure. But if you start communicating with them, it's like they have a fish on a line, and they're gonna start reeling you in, and pretty soon they're gonna be asking for money. They'll tell you anything you want to hear. I mean, they are the scum of the earth. So anyway, sorry I've been just going off on this, but real quick, how many of you have had someone reach out to you and try to get you to befriend them or even send money? I would love to see some comments in the description, not in the description, in the comments below. I would just love to see if any of you are with me on this. Not with me, because I'm not doing it, but is this going to be helpful to anybody? So there have been comments coming in, but I haven't been able to keep up with all of them. That's funny. People are joking about. Okay, Michelle De Silva. She's really from South Africa. I've been watching your channel for your first episode. Well, Michelle, welcome, and I hope you'll watch the whole thing when you're done, okay? Craig said, thank you for the warning. I know, I've been there. A military person was a scam from a foreign country, so I stopped it. I like your video and your horses, your training, thanks. Anyway, there's so much scamming stuff going on right now, just on Facebook. It's everywhere. Yeah. So sad to hear these stories. Thanks so much for the information. Look at that field of grass looking great. Thank you, Rush. Anyway, don't know them, block them. Yeah, okay. So, real quick, listen, people, this can go really bad on your senses. We know we are beautiful to God and to our loved ones. Yep, there you go. God's opinion is really the only opinion that matters of us, and you know He loves you and thinks you're beautiful. So real quick, let me wait for a couple more comments or questions, but I hope this is helpful to somebody. There are romance scammers. It's a real thing. You can read about romance scamming or whatever. It's all over the place, and they prey on your need to feel loved and wanted and beautiful, and they connect with that, and they take care, or they take advantage of you being maybe vulnerable just because. And a lot of times they do it to people that are a little older, like myself and older, because they're like, okay, these people don't understand how social media works, they don't understand technology, so they may put a check in the mail to me or do things that, I mean, they really prey on the kindness of others. And I know that we have some of the kindest, best people ever that watch our channel. So that's why I wanted to warn you about this. Let me see, there's some more. Wow. So Tatum says she had someone scam her, and but when the lies started pouring in, I had to disconnect him. How's 66 doing, Mary asked. He's doing good. I hope I get to go see him here soon up in Idaho. I had it happen to me, Juanita said. I realized it earlier. Sorry, there's a fly. But it did take a few weeks for her to realize. Thanks for the information. Elizabeth, I've definitely had people do that. My other phone was compromised because, sorry, this flies all over. Anyway. Because someone hacked an ambulance account. It affected 5,000 people. Wow. People listen to this. This can go really bad on your senses. We know we're beautiful to God. Okay, thank you, Sylvia Darby. Sylvia, you're amazing. Anyway, guys, I hope this is helpful to someone. If it helps one person, then it was worth doing it today. Michelle said there is a program about that called Catfish, how they track and find these scammers and expose them. I've heard that, Michelle. I heard that there's a documentary or something, or they kind of like the Underground Railroad or whatever, those people that try to help expose child predators and sex traffickers. There's also people trying to expose these romance scammers. And I think there's a documentary or a channel or something out there. And I thought, wouldn't it be cool? I'd love to work with them. So if you have any connections, if you know who they are or whatever, they could work with our channel and they could come to our channel and we'll expose some people, because I'm getting ticked off because they're trying to take advantage of and trying to prey on my friends, which is you that are on this channel. And I'm fed up with it. And so if I can warn anybody to stay away from them, that's what I'm gonna do. So anyway, I hope this has been helpful this morning as I've just walked around the farm and talked to you about romance scammers, but it's something that had to be said. Have a great day and God bless.